Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I have this glamorous cut crease with a red lipstick look for you. I hope you enjoy watching. So the first thing I always do is prime my skin, and I like to use the Dr. Brand Pores No More primer. I feel like this is one of the best primers out there, and especially for hiding blemishes. So I'm going to softly press this into my skin. Now I'm going to use the Urban Decay All Nighter foundation, and I mix the shade 3 and 5 together to get the perfect shade for my skin. As you can see, my face is much lighter, but I like to match this with my chest because I use fake tan. So it would look really weird if I apply a very pale shade and my body would look way more darker, if you know what I mean. So I blend this in using a beauty blender. Now I'm going to use the Tarte Cosmetics Shape Tape Concealer. I use it in the shade Light Medium. And I'm going to apply this a little bit underneath my eyes and also on my forehead. And I'm going to blend this also in with my beauty blender. Ever since I discovered the beauty blender, I don't use anything else to apply my foundation with. I'm obsessed with beauty blender. Then I'm going to use the Bobbi Brown Pale Yellow Loose Powder, and I'm going to bake with this. So I apply quite a lot on my chin and also underneath my cheekbones. As you can see, I had a lot of fallout on my t-shirt, but it's easy to wipe that away. So with whatever is left on my brush, I apply this on my forehead and a little bit underneath my eyes. So I left it for like 1 minute, and now I'm already going to blend it away because I don't want it to be very harsh on the skin. So I just quickly applied my eyebrows. I just did my eyebrows off camera because it will make the video much more longer. In my previous video I show my eyebrow routine. Now the first eyeshadow that I'm going in with is by Makeup Geek, and this is the shade White Lies. It's a matte white shade, and I'm going to press this right underneath the highest point of my brow to highlight. Now I'm going in with the shade Fudge by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and this is such a pretty shade. I also used this in my previous video. A lot of the shades that I used in this video I used also in this video. So if you like the shades that I used in my previous video, you can also use them to create something like I'm doing today. But I'm using this Fudge shade to create my crease line. I'm using a very tiny brush by Morphe. I'm not sure what the number is. I have used it so many times that the name or the number has totally faded away from the eye brush. But this is a very nice brush to use for this. And I'm going in with the Makeup Geek Creme Brulee eyeshadow. I'm going to use this shade to create a sort of transition in my crease, and also to blend this right on top of the line to make it a little bit less harsh. And don't worry if it looks a little bit messy underneath the line. We will clean it up later, so don't worry about it. Now I'm going in with Makeup Geek Morocco eyeshadow. And I'm using a Dose of Colors pencil brush. And I'm going right on top of the crease line. So I applied Creme Brulee in my crease, the Fudge eyeshadow as my line, and now I'm going to apply this sort of in the middle to create a very nice transition from light to dark. Now I'm going back in with the Makeup Geek Creme Brulee eyeshadow on a Morphe M506 brush, just to make sure that there are no harsh lines. So always go back in with a light shade to make sure that it looks really well blended out. Now I'm going back in with the Fudge eyeshadow. I didn't really felt like it was intense enough, so that's why I'm going back in with this shade. And again, I'm using the tiny Morphe brush, and I'm just going straight on top of the line just to intensify. And for the next step is that I will blend it out a little bit more. So just my advice, if you go in with a darker shade, make sure that you go in with lighter shades afterwards to make sure that it just looks more blended out. And I switched my brush into a pencil brush since the Morphe one is very tiny and it isn't really a blending brush, so this one works better. Now I'm going in with the Pro Longwear Concealer by MAC in the shade NC15, and I'm going straight underneath my crease line. So if you feel like your crease isn't looking great how you have it in mind. Just go back in with the creme brulee eyeshadow in the Morocco shade and just blend those shades until you are satisfied with how it looks, and then go in with this concealer. So I'm going straight underneath that line, and now you can see that you didn't have to worry about any messy fallout on your eyelid, because the concealer will clean it all up, and this will give you a very nice clean base for the eyeshadows that we will apply on the lid. So the first shade that I'm going in with on my lid is I'm Peachless by Makeup Geek. This is a very pretty shade. It has a sort of pinky gold reflect. It's really pretty. I'm using my MAC 242 brush to press this at the beginning part of my eyelids. Now I'm going to use the L'Oreal Super Liner. This is a very precise eyeliner, and I'm going to start to create a sort of wing. I have done a lot of cut creases, but I've never done something like this, where the eyelids turns into a eyeliner or a cat wing. I don't really know how to explain it. So it was the first time for me doing this, so I didn't know where to start. So that's why I'm doing my wing now, but maybe other people do it different and do it at the last step. I don't know, but it worked for me how I did it today. So now I'm going to use the Americano eyeshadow by Makeup Geek, and I'm going to blend this a little bit where I stopped with the liner, and at the end you will see why I did this. So now I'm going to use the Melt Cosmetics Dark Matter eyeshadow. This is just a black eyeshadow. I just had this on my desk, so that's why I use it, but you can use any matte black shade that you have at home, or a different shade, totally depends on what you're creating. And then I'm going to use the Liquid Eyeliner by NYC, and I'm going a little bit on top of the wing to make it look a little bit more sharp and black. And you can see this will really fill in the cat wing really nice. But also you can use that slim liner that I used before from L'Oreal, but I prefer a liquid liner, to be honest. So now I'm going back in with the Americano eyeshadow by Makeup Geek, and I'm going to press this right next to the black eyeshadow to make it kind of melt into each other. And now you can also see why I applied a little bit of that earlier around the end of the wing, if you know what I mean. It's just easier. Now I'm going in with Antiqued eyeshadow by Makeup Geek, a very pretty shade. I own it for quite a lot of time. It's one of my first MAC eyeshadows that I owned. And I'm using my MAC 242 brush, and I'm going to press this right next to the dark brown eyeshadow. You can also apply it a little bit on top of it. It will blend really nice together, since the shades are kind of familiar. Now I'm going in with Henna eyeshadow by Anastasia Beverly Hills. And this one is going right next to the Antiqued eyeshadow by MAC. I'm just creating a sort of ombre on my eyelid using different shades. And as you can see from the wing to the inner corner of my eye, it goes from dark to light. And I really like how it looks. Now I'm going back in with the L'Oreal Super Liner. And I'm going to create a very thin line above my lash line, and I'm just going to try to connect this with the beginning part of my cat wing. So nothing really special, I'm just creating a line. Now for my waterline, I'm going to use the NYX Kohl Kajal pencil. This is a basic black pencil. You can use any pencil that you like. So I'm just popping this in my waterline, and I'm also going to tightline a little bit. Now I'm using the Melt Cosmetics Dark Matter eyeshadow again, and I'm going to press this right underneath my lower lashes. And I'm also trying to connect the black eyeshadow with the pencil in my waterline, so I also softly press this on my waterline. If you wear contacts, this might not be a really smart thing to do, but for me it wasn't a problem. Now I'm going in with the Morocco eyeshadow by Makeup Geek again, and I'm pressing this right underneath the black eyeshadow. And I'm also softly blending my brush back and forth to directly blend those shades into each other. This is a really nice brush for this technique. Now for my lashes, I use the Anytude Snobby Lashes from my own lash company. I have a special discount code in the description bar in case you're curious. It will give you 50% discount. So I applied these off camera, but these are very dramatic, really nice for a smoky eye. Now back to the face. I'm using the MAC, no it's not by MAC, this one is by Tarte Cosmetics. And I'm just going to set my face since I haven't give any attention to my skin yet, so it might got a little bit oily. Now for my bronzer I'm going to use the Jouer bronzing powder. And it has a sort of cool undertone, so I'm kind of bronzing my face, but at the same time I'm also trying to contour a little bit. So I also applied this underneath my lips and of course on my forehead. I feel like it makes my forehead a little bit smaller, and also underneath my neck. Now for my highlighter I'm using the Ofra Cosmetics Rodeo Drive highlighter, my all-time favorite highlighter, together with the So Hollywood highlighter by Anastasia. This is such a gorgeous shade, and the texture of this highlighter is really nice. It's very smooth, so it blends in the skin really nicely, and I just feel like it matches with my skin tone. Now for my blush I'm going to use the MAC Peach Twist blush, also one of the first blushes that I owned from MAC. It's a very pretty shade, so I'm going to apply this on the apples of my cheeks and blend them towards my highlighter. Now for my lip liner I'm going to use the Ruby Woo lip pencil, and I'm just going to line my lips, and I always kind of outline at the center above my lips to make my lips look a little bit thicker. I don't have very thick lips but also not very thin lips, but I just feel like whenever I overdraw them a little bit it just looks better. Now I'm going in with the Ruby Woo lipstick, also by MAC Cosmetics, and this is like the third lipstick that I own, and this is definitely my favorite red lipstick. The undertone is just so gorgeous. So now I'm going in with the Jouer Cerise lip cream, and I'm going to apply this right on top of it to make it look a little bit more matte. I don't like to use this lip cream on its own because it isn't really full coverage, but I really like to apply this on top of the Ruby Woo lipstick since it has a same undertone. So yes, this is already the end of the tutorial. I really hope you enjoyed watching. This is also a sort of New Year's Eve look since it's New Year's Eve tomorrow, so I really hope you enjoyed this. Maybe it gave you some inspiration, and thank you all so freaking much for all the support I have gotten in 2016, and I wish you all an amazing 2017. And yes, I just wish you all the best. Much love, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye guys!
I've been getting money, I've been getting gold.